I cannot believe that we are on episode 11. There's just one more episode left in Shaka Ilembe season 1, and I don't know how to feel. I am looking forward to the ending of season 1 just to see how everything concludes, but at the same time, I'm like, what are Sundays gonna be without Shaka Ilembe? But this is the review of episode 11 of Shaka Ilembe season 1. Let's jump straight into it. So we ended off episode 10 with the brewing war between the Mthethwa and the Elangeni people. And as expected, uMakedama in this episode has gone to the Ndwandwe people to ask them for help in his fight against the Mthethwa people. And they embark on this journey to go and fight the Mthethwa people who are led by Shaka and his Izikwe regiment. And it's a sure win. I mean, I sort of liken uMakedama to Umawewe, very arrogant and also just a coward. So I wasn't really expecting the Elangeni people to win, especially because Shaka as well has proven himself to be such a powerful and strong warrior. Shaka has proven himself to be a strong warrior and a strong leader and also a force to be reckoned with. And we continue to see that in this episode as he completely annihilates the Elangeni / Ndwandwe army. And he does this even when they outnumber his army by 3 times. I mean, this just goes to show the power that Shaka has in terms of war and how brilliant he is at war. And I think what makes him so brilliant at war is because Shaka actually uses his mind and applies his mind to war. He strategizes. He doesn't follow like a certain recipe to war. And what I mean to say by this is that in all the wars that we've seen, the very first war between the Ndwandwes and the Zulus, and then we saw again a war between the Mthethwas and the Mthethwa Civil War. We saw that war as well. In both of those wars, there is generally a strategy that the armies follow when it comes to a battle. And that's the first thing they do is they will stand at a distance from each other and throw their spears. So that's generally what they do first. See how many people they can eliminate, and then only afterwards do they engage in close combat with each other. But Shaka, the thing about Shaka that makes him so brilliant is that he doesn't follow that necessarily a recipe to war, but what he does is he assesses the situation at hand, he assesses his enemy, and then he adapts and strategizes a plan that's going to make the odds of him winning higher. And you see this in this episode. Immediately when he sees that these guys outnumber him, he tells his army to break off their spears. This is brilliant, guys, because if you think about it, if you're going to engage in close combat with somebody, the person with the shorter spear has the advantage because they can get much closer to you. So yeah, he's absolutely brilliant, and we see his infamous bullhorn formation where he basically envelops the enemy army and he wins. He absolutely wins, and this is just to show his might, his power, his strength, and his brilliance just in warfare. And yeah, we the Shaka that we know today has arrived, and not only in his power but also in his mental instability. Apart from having to go in and win this war on behalf of King Dingiswayo, Shaka has a personal element to this fight because he's fighting against uMakedama, who bullied him as a child. He's fighting against the Elangeni people who basically harassed his mother as well when they were there when he was a child, when they were in Elangeni. So the fact that he's got so much power as well over these guys, I feel, is what starts to corrupt him, because he then turns from being a strong and principled man into becoming a bully. The way he treated those guys after they had already surrendered shows us the dark side now of Shaka. I mean, and it's also like a little bit crazy the way he behaves, because who just takes off their clothes to show and expose their private parts to people singing as if he's I don't know what, that scene was just like eerie for me, because it just showed me that this person is not of his right mind, and he is taking the fact that he is powerful over these people, he's stronger than these people, to he exerts his force on top of them, and he basically exacts his revenge for his mom, who has sacrificed so much to have him get to this position. And yeah, we have arrived at the Shaka that we know. We have arrived at the strong, powerful, brilliant Shaka, who is also a little bit mad sometimes, especially when it comes to his mother. And yeah, I think it stems obviously from his adoration for his mother, the love that he has for his mother. I mean, that scene at the end where he basically pays homage to his mother and praises her, thanks her for everything that she's done for her. It ties back to what I was saying in the previous review of episode 10 about the writing in the story. That scene, that moment when Shaka was bringing his mother forward to thank her for everything that she's done, to praise her and lift up her name, you understand the depth and the gravity of that moment because of every single event leading up to it, seeing how they, were mistreated, all the hardships they had to face, and all the disappointing actions that Shaka took towards his mother, who sacrificed so much for him. And man, my eyes got a little bit teary when I saw that scene, because there's really so much gravity in that scene, and there's so much emotion carried in that scene, because you've seen the journey throughout the season. So it was a beautiful moment, but at the same time it's bittersweet because of the way Shaka is now conducting himself about his mother, the way he's carrying himself. He's diverting from being a humble, principled man of character and the type of king, who rules with humility, who rules with mercy, but is also strong and is also a warrior. So I'm very interested to see how we conclude the story in episode 12, the very last episode. And also, I want to see Umakedama getting his day with Shaka, because how cowardly can you be to just leave your army fighting for you, dying for you, and you run away? So this guy needs to get what's coming to him. I hope we see some of that as well in episode 12. And in this episode, I also want to speak on Lemogang Tsipa as Shaka. When it first came out that Lemogang Tsipa was going to play Shaka Zulu, and I heard that he is like a Pedi Tswana man, I was kind of skeptical. I mean, could they not find a Zulu man, Zulu enough to play Ushaka Zulu? Something just wasn't adding up, and just looking at him as well on the onset, I was just not convinced. I'm like, really, this guy doesn't inspire reverence inside of me when I look at him. So, I mean, I started watching, and when he started showing up, I was still a little bit skeptical, but I think the casting did this deliberately, because we walked the journey with Shaka. And, the Shaka that we know today, he was not always that way. There was a point in his time where he was a little bit weak. He had a lot to learn. He had a lot of training to go under. And having gone through that journey with him, I understand why they picked Lemogang Tsipa for this role. He's killing it. He's absolutely killing the role of Shaka. And the Shaka that we saw in episode 10 and in episode 11, that portrayal is just absolutely amazing, because you see the strength inside of him. You see the power inside of him. You feel that reverence coming out of you. So yeah, I think he's doing such an amazing job. I also actually watched an interview of him. I think it's SA Film Chronicles, where, they go in and dive into the career that he's had. He's had an illustrious career. He's been in so many different productions. He is a seasoned actor, and I would not be able to do justice to his work in such a short review. So you guys need to go and check out that interview with Lemogang Tsiba on SA Film Chronicles. Yeah, it's amazing. And one of the things that I learned in there is that as much as he is a Pedi man, he actually grew up in KwaZulu-Natal, I think in Empangeni. So he is Zulu. I mean, if you take a Chinese baby, raise them in KZN, they will speak proper Zulu. So yeah, it was not by chance, it was not by mistake. It was very deliberate, the casting of Lemogang Tsiba, and I think it was on point. So well done to the casting. And I would be remiss as well without mentioning Unomzamo Mbata, who plays Unandi. I mean, what did we expect? We know she's amazing. We know she's great at what she does, and she does not disappoint as a Queen Nandi. The strength that she exudes, the assertiveness that she exudes as a queen, as the mother of somebody she believes is going to be great. She portrays Nandi so well, and you can feel the love, you can feel the passion for her son, you can feel her strength in her portrayal of Queen Nandi. So Nomzamo Mbata did an amazing job as well. Casting as a whole, we've spoken about this. The casting on the show is amazing. The writing on the show is amazing. And the production is really amazing as well. Absolutely loved episode 11 as well, because we have arrived. We have arrived to King Shaka, and I'm excited to see how episode 12 plays out and how we conclude this season. So then let's meet again next week for the review of episode 12. I cannot wait for it. Bye.